be showing you guys how to play Who's Afraid of Little Old Me on the guitar. Here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this tutorial today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so you're only going to need to know 5 different chord shapes to play through this song, and we're going to start with our D minor, which looks like this and sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, I do cover how to do that in my free beginner course right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out right here. The next chord shape is going to be our F over C. After that, we have our A minor. Then we have our G add 4. And then last is our C major. And those are the 5 chord shapes to play through this song. And just really quick, a piece of advice is a lot of these chord shapes are going to have the muted, like low E string. So something you can do is take your thumb and just wrap it around the neck of your guitar and just barely touch that string so it's muted. That way when you're strumming the chord shapes, it's muted so that you can strum more confidently. And then also for 4 out of these 5 chords, you'll notice your index finger, your pointer finger never moves from this spot. We've got our F over C, A minor, G add 4, and C chord. So you can use that as an anchor finger to kind of switch your other chords around while you're doing those transitions. Totally optional, just a piece of advice for all of the beginners out there. So go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really memorize these chord shapes, as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them, because it'll make learning the rest of the song so much easier. And if this is a skill you're currently struggling with, I do have an entire Practice With Me playlist right here on YouTube where we go through this skill in real time together, so make sure to check that out if you need extra help. But once you get back, we can talk about the strumming that I would suggest for this song. Alright guys, so like I always say, if you are brand new to playing guitar or you're somebody who struggles with singing while playing at the same time, the first thing I would suggest you doing is to bring up this song and go ahead and play through it with a single down strum on each chord change as you sing through the song. And just take this time to really get used to what word you're singing or what syllable you're on whenever those chords are changing. So here's a quick example of what that would look like. Who's who of who's that is poised for the attack, but my bare hands pave their paths. You don't get to tell me about that. Alright, so that's just a quick example, but you would essentially want to do that for the entire song and just really make sure you know where those chords are changing. And this is actually something you do right now if you check out my Patreon page. I do have this entire guide available to download and print out, so I'll make sure to leave that link in the description box for you. But once you've done that, we can go ahead and talk about a more full strumming pattern that you can use for this song. Alright guys, so as you can see, the strumming pattern I would suggest for this song is fairly simple. It's just all down strums, and we're going to count it like an 8th note rhythm, so it's going to sound like this. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 down. All right. And essentially what you want to do is we're going to play this pattern through 1 time per chord, and that's going to be true for basically the entire song. So let's go ahead and bring up verse 1 to kind of get an example of that. We have our D minor chord on to start, and we're just going to do our 8 down strums, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, then you have your F over C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, to A minor, to G add 4. Pretty simple, but as you can already tell, when we do all down strums, it does start to get a little bit like muddy with the guitar part. So something you can do really easily to kind of break it up a little and make it sound a little more rhythmic is to add accents. So accenting is basically whenever you're strumming, you're just gonna kind of strum with a little bit of extra emphasis on certain strums. So I'm going to go ahead and turn some of these arrows green, and that's just going to represent which beats we want to accent. So as you can see, we have the 1, the and of the 2, and the 4. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, so hopefully you can hear a little bit of a difference between the accented strums and the regular strums. But essentially, we want to add this accent in throughout the entire song. So if we do that little round again with accents, it would sound like this. We have D minor, down, 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 to F, hear how it's kind of giving it a more of a driving rhythm. And then the other thing that this is totally optional, but I do think it sounds really good with this song, that you can add in is called a palm mute. So basically what I'm doing there is I'm taking my right hand with my pick in it and I'm just gently laying the side of my palm right here next to the bridge of my guitar. And when you kind of have your hand there as you strum, see how the strings don't ring out as much and it's kind of more of a muted, dampened sound? So Taylor does this a lot when she does a lot of her live performances. So if you can add a palm mute in, I would suggest it for parts of this song as well. The other benefit to adding a palm mute is it makes your accents stand out even more. So now with our D minor, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and F, A minor, G. So again, the palm mute and the accents, they're both totally optional, but if you can add one or both to your playing, it really does make the whole song come together really nicely. So all we have to do now is we're going to speed this strumming pattern up a little, and then you can apply it for the entire song. So let me go ahead and give you an example of the verse. We have down, 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 down. Accents, palm mute, you got it. So throughout this song, there are going to be parts too where you're just going to do a single down strum like we practiced earlier. So that's a good example of that. Let's go ahead and go over the chorus. Now for the chorus, I would keep the accents in, but I'd go ahead and let your strings ring out so you can take the palm mute out for the chorus. So here's an example of what that would sound like. So I leap from the gallows and I levitate down your street, crash the party like a record scratch. So again, accents are still in there. We're keeping the exact same strumming pattern for the entire song. And basically my suggestion would be to palm mute all of the verses and then let all of the choruses ring out. The one place that is a little bit different is going to be the bridge. So for this section, I would mostly stick with a single down strum, except for where it goes dun, 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 you know what I'm talking about? So here on the bridge, we start with our A minor. We're just gonna single down strums. So tell me everything is not about me, but what if it is? So right here, C to G add 4 to A minor. We're gonna go down, down, up on C to down, down, up on G add 4 to A minor, okay? So it's going 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So that's the rhythm there. And this is these two lines in the bridge are the only place I would suggest doing this second strumming rhythm. So let's do the bridge through. We've got, so tell me everything is not about me, but what if it is? They say they didn't do it to hurt me, but what if they did? All right, right here I would go back into our regular pattern. I wanna snarl and show you just how disturbed this has made me. All right, palm mute there. And then at the end of the bridge, again, we're doing single strums. That I'll sue you if you step on my lawn. All right, all the way through the end of the bridge. For the last chorus only, I would suggest palm muting the chorus because it's gonna build up into the outro. So I leap from the gallows and I levitate down your street, all right? And then at the end of that last chorus, that's when I would let it go and go back to the ringing. Well, you should be, you should be, you should be, 'cause you lured me. All right, all the way down to the end of the song, and then that very last line, we're gonna go back to single strums. Who's afraid of little old me? And we're just ending bending on that D minor, letting it ring out. And yeah, so basically you can see here the strumming rhythm is going to be pretty easy for the entire song. You just want to keep it going. Like I said, add in those accents and those palm mutes if you can to kind of dress it up. But besides that, that is the strumming that you can use and apply for basically the entire song. All right guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really practice that strumming rhythm, get those palm mutes and those accents down if that's something that you want to explore adding in there. But once you get back, we can put everything we've learned together to play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go. The who's who of who's that is poised for the attack, but my bare hands pave their paths. You don't get to tell me about sad. Ooh, if you wanted me dead, you should have just said. Want to have fun jamming out to the rest of the song with me? Yeah! Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other play-along guitar tutorials. I'll make sure to leave a link for that in the description box down below. If you enjoyed learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe and feel, but it's just as fun and easy to play, so I'll see you over there. Bye!